bangs are so long, it's driving me crazy. Also, in case you're wondering about my hair, I dyed it for Halloween, but this stuff lasts for like over a month, I think. Even though Halloween is over now, I thought it might be a good video to talk about times I've almost died. First story. This was probably like the scariest night ever, maybe. It's up there. My family was out of town except for my mom and I, and we like went out to dinner that night, and then we came home, and so I was just in the kitchen after we got home, and my mom was like, I'm just gonna go get ready for bed and then come back. And so she walked to her room, and she came back a few minutes later, and she looked like really terrified. And my mom does not get scared easily. Like, she is tough, you know, she's super nice, but she's not a wimp. And she's like, I don't know, maybe I was just hearing things, but I really thought that I heard the door in the basement shut. And I was like really scared. And so I grabbed this like giant butcher's knife out of the kitchen drawer, and then I give another knife to my mom, and I'm like, shh, and we're like standing there in the kitchen just like holding knives, and then all of a sudden I hear one of our other basement doors open. And like, I don't know how to describe the sound to you, but it's a very specific sound. You know when you have a door that just makes a specific sound, like you know it's that door opening? It's such a heavy, thick door, and then all of a sudden I hear it just swing open. I'm just like, run! Like, I yell to my mom, I'm like, get in my car! I'm like running with this knife, and then I swoop up Paris, and we're both running together to the door to run outside to my car. My mom's in the car, and I'm like, drive, drive! As we're driving out of the driveway, I start calling the police. So we drive like into the road, and are kind of like watching our house from like a little distance. And and so we're like watching our house, and we have a side door that goes to our kitchen, and all of a sudden that door slammed shut. Like, my mom and I left it open when we ran out, and it slammed shut. And as the door slammed shut, the police are pulling up, and I'm like telling them, I'm like, quick, that door just slammed shut, like he's right there, like the guy's right in there. But these police were not super speedy, and they were just like, okay, we'll check it out. They like go in there, and then they like start looking through the house, and then I guess aren't finding anything. And my mom and I are still like out in our car on the street, and then we see this guy walk up behind my car, like someone we've never seen in the neighborhood before, walking like late at night. I think it was in the summer, and he was like wearing gloves and a hat and like really sketchy. And then so I like yell to the cops, I'm like, go ask that guy, like it's probably that guy. And then one of the cops like drives up to him, and I don't know what the cop said to him. He's probably like, do you live in the neighborhood? And then the guy's like, yeah. And then he got away. Okay, hello. I'm really struggling with my filming today. If I look different than I did just in the last scene, that's because I filmed that like hours earlier, and then I was editing it, and then I took a nap, and then I was editing it again, and then I remembered 2 other stories that I wanted to tell you, so now I'm back. And also I filmed another video earlier today that I edited and completed, and I'm not posting now because I don't like it. I'm really struggling, and I feel like this lighting is weird. Oh boy. Does this look better? Do I look like I just woke up from a nap? I don't know. I'm sorry. Anyways, back to the video. These are 2 very scary times that I definitely could have died. I'm gonna try to tell them quick because for some reason my videos always end up being really long because I talk forever. You guys, I'm starting to go a little crazy. Okay, so my family has been going to this island off of South Carolina like my entire life. This time I was in 8th grade, and I was there with my friend, and the island has like no street lights, and everyone drives golf carts. But one night my friend and I were driving home, and it was like pitch black except for our golf cart lights. We're driving one direction, and then we see this big white van drive past us. And like, keep in mind, there are very few actual cars on the island, like it's mostly just golf carts. And this big white van drives by us with no windows on it, so it was like just the typical sketchy van that you want to avoid. And so we just keep driving, and then all of a sudden I like look behind me, and I see the van turning around to like follow us. We're like 2 14-year-old girls, and it was pitch black on an island. Like, okay, it was not normal for them to turn around and start following us. Scared, and I was like trying to think of something to do, and luckily I like knew my way around the island really well. So I turned off my golf cart lights so the car couldn't see us, and then I turned off onto a road and hid, and luckily the car drove past us, but like slowly, like they were creeping and like looking for us, and but I like drove the rest of the way home without lights on, so it was like pitch black, still terrifying. And luckily we made it home, but then as we got home, my cousin was there and he saw us like pulling into the driveway, and then he hid and popped out and scared us. And I was like, Mark, you have no idea what we just went through. And then he terrified us, and then I think I cried. But the moral of that story is if someone starts following you, you gotta think fast on your feet and do something smart to avoid them at all costs. Okay? My next story is another one that like, it just kind of sucks that stuff like this happens in the world, and it sucks, but like girls really do need to be careful. You know, I hate to say that, but I think like it's kind of a scarier world for girls sometimes. I was like 18 years old, I think, and I was going to the mall to pick up my contacts. And as I'm walking in the mall, I see this guy sitting on the bench like right inside, just kind of looking sketchy. You know, I just get a weird feeling about people sometimes. And he was just sitting there by himself, didn't really look like he was waiting for anyone, didn't look like he was shopping, like just kind of sketchy. So I walk past him, and then I go to the eye doctor in the mall to get my contacts, and as I'm leaving, I see him still sitting there, but as soon as I walk past him, like as soon as I get past him, he stands up and starts walking behind me, like following me out of the mall. And I exit the mall, and he exits immediately after me. And at this point, I'm like, this guy's definitely following me. And so I'm kind of freaking out. And I don't know how far back he was from me, like maybe to the door. He wasn't that far away. I'm freaking out. I kind of start sprinting and trying to dial my mom on the phone at the same time, running to my car. Luckily, my car was parked pretty close. And I jump in my car, lock it as fast as I can. And then I look up, and he's literally staring into my front windshield, like making direct eye contact with me, staring at me right in front of my car. Terrifying, okay? Like actually terrifying. This guy was definitely following me out of the mall, trying to, I don't know what he was gonna do, like try to mug me or like kidnap me, because, you know, I definitely look younger, I think, than I am, and especially when I was 18, I definitely looked younger too. Like for all he knew, he was following like a 14-year-old out of the mall going to kidnap me or something. So that one was like really terrifying. And yeah, so everyone just be safe, be aware of your surroundings, and if you have like a weird feeling about someone, like listen to that feeling and be safe and smart and don't die, okay? Anyways, I love you. Okay, bye. You made it through my whole video? That's amazing. You guys are champions. You're probably already subscribed.